Oh my god, let's try something.
See what happened on TV
Oh
last
yeah,
night?
I always watch.
Oh my god.
It's so fun. It was so
Yeah,
good.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Stevie.
I'm Talena,
and this is Twin Talk. We missed you guys so much. It was crazy. Like, we were talking about this.
It felt like 2 years had passed.
I feel like January has been 76 days, at least.
It always feels like that, though.
God damn it. It just is so long. I'm like, are we ever going to get out of January? But with that being said, we are on the third episode, cheers, 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 of The Bachelor. And things are getting saucy, right?
Yeah, but it's weird, though, because I feel like a lot happened, but I feel like nothing happened at the same time. Like, this season kind of has that effect. I'm just like, did anything actually happen?
Well, here's the issue with this, is that they're doing so many pre-planned plans.
Yeah.
Which I guess a plan is pre-planned, so I don't have to say that, but like, they're doing so many plans that it just feels like nothing's happening because it doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel real. You know?
I agree.
And I think we said this in episode 1 or 2, is that everything is going so fast-paced that it sort of feels that you're not really absorbing all the information, or you're not really getting a true sense of the women and their characters.
Yeah,
because of that. And also, if you look at Instagrams and, you know, the little teasers that Bachelor Nation does and stuff. There goes the phone. Oops. Things happen. I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about the girls, and we're talking about how quick pace this is.
Oh yeah, and then you watch Instagram stories or the Bachelor Nation news and stuff, and they do these little blurbs, and they do these little like sneak peeks, like sneak previews, and then you don't see it in the actual episode.
That is annoying as hell.
And you're just thinking, I've been waiting for that to happen, or I had this mindset that it was going to accumulate into sort of this idea. For example, Cassidy. She's obviously a villain on the show, and she probably is sort of a piece of shit in real life. She just sort of gives me that vibe. But there was this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Just give me that vibe.
She just feels like bad vibes.
She just feels bad vibes, yeah.
Like, I don't even think she realizes how crazy she is. I think she's... I don't know how to put it delicately.
Yeah.
I don't know her. But
yeah,
there's something missing with, and she has like no
socially.
Yeah,
it's like something.
She doesn't get it. It's like when she came in and she took all the shrimp, and then she was like,
"No, that was Shanae. We're not on Shanae. We're on Cassidy."
Oh shit, we're on Cassidy. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
But they're
easy, kind of two of the same.
It's easy to get them confused because they sort of look alike, and they're the exact same villain.
Right.
They didn't change it up and get a different type of villain. They sort of just paired them up and then
because like they did that in
the last season.
The last season, right? It's like
Michelle's season. They did that with Will.
Yeah, it was like there was all of a sudden there was a turn. It was like, oh, now this guy's the villain. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, this is Baron, our kitty cat. He loves Twin Talk. Say hi, Baron. Okay, be a batch. Okay. So anyway, so I think that they were sort of the same person, and they were like, well, the producers were like, I want my person to have more screen time. And the other producer was like, no, I want my person to have more screen time. And then they're like, how about this? How about they just play the exact same villain for the storyline? That'll really fuck things up. And we're all sort of like, Cassidy, Shanae, are they the same person? What's happening?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm particularly loving this specific drama, just because it does feel so planted. Like you said with the shrimp.
Yeah.
With Shanae, you know, come on. I mean, how more obvious could it be that, you know, they're being told by their producers, hey, how about you make some shrimp?
Yeah.
Make sure that the first person you tell is Shanae.
Right.
And then that producer's like, take all the shrimp. Like, the shrimp's all for you.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be. You don't know really what they're saying in their ears and what they're saying.
Yeah.
Talena!
Sorry. I forgot to turn my phone off.
Well, you know, some things are important, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So, anyway, I got off on a tangent there with Shanae.
Sorry, it was because I was
Shanae?
accidentally calling
What's her
Shanae. Well, no, it's Shanono. No, her name's
It's definitely
Shanae.
Shanono.
It's Shanae.
My God, it's a Shanono.
Her name's Shanae.
Oh, her name's Shanae.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep wanting to call her like Shanaea or
Yeah.
Shanae or whatever.
No,
but
Shanae.
So we start with Cassidy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We start
Yeah,
with
so we start
Cassidy.
with Cassidy. And Cassidy just sort of seems to maybe not socially be aware of how
She's drunk.
Oh, well,
Bitch
yeah,
is
first of all,
drunk.
she's drunk the entire
She was
thing.
like,
it's
I
very...
got a rose.
Yeah,
You
she's
know?
like sweating, like
she was like, what is he gonna do? I got a rose.
yeah.
I
Oh,
was like,
she was drunk. She
was definitely drunk, and she just starting something.
Yeah, she was just picking. So anyway, my entire point was that she, in the previews on Instagram, she had this whole bit where she was backstage crying with the producers, being like, I don't understand why they hate me. Like, what did I do to them? But we never saw that. We never saw that side. The only version or narrative, rather, that we got of Cassidy was her saying, oh, I don't care what the girls think about me. I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm here to be Clayton's girlfriend, or whatever she said.
Yeah.
So that was my entire point.
I see what you're saying.
We sort of went on a tangent, we're sorry. So we started the episode, and let me tell you, I hate when they do this. It is so much better when they have the opening date, the one-on-one, the next group date, and then a rose ceremony. You know who goes home at the end of the episode, everything's tied neat up in a little package, and then you start the next week fresh. No, they're not doing that for us, and I hate it, especially this early in the game.
I agree. Like, it's one thing that now they're just having too many Christmases, you know? Like, there's no more surprise. If you celebrated Christmas every single week, like, Christmas wouldn't be fun anymore. So, that's my point, is it's not exciting anymore. It's not a cliffhanger for me. It just pisses me off.
It just gives me anxiety because then when I start watching the show, I'm not in the mindset of
it's a new week.
It's a new week. Everybody's starting fresh. We're doing it all. And I'm not in that mindset. I've never liked the way they do it, especially this early in the season. And since they've started doing that, there's literally no way for them to catch up. So we know that for pretty much every single episode after this, it's going to be left on a cliffhanger.
Right.
Because there's no way that logistically they're going to do 2 rose ceremonies in one episode.
Right.
They're just not going to do it. So they've decided for this season, they're going to leave us on cliffhangers. And that's actually pretty interesting because I feel like for most things, they've actually gone back to their roots.
Yeah.
But that definitely is something sort of new agey that they've been doing in the last couple of seasons. Right?
I think.
They've always, like, you know, it was a traditional TV show at the beginning. When it first started, it wasn't this huge franchise and, you know,
you have
all
to
the
also
actors
think
are the
of
same
where,
actors.
like, how far technology has come, and now there's Instagram. There wasn't Instagram. There wasn't Facebook. There wasn't even MySpace when, I don't think.
Yeah,
it was just the good old AOL or whatever. No, not even that, man.
Ding,
Bachelor's been around for a long, exactly. For a long fucking time. A lot of people probably didn't have computers or fucking a cell phone, man.
You had to, like, wait for the commercial to be over.
Right.
You'd, like, run to the bathroom real quick and you'd hear, like, go on next week on Bachelor.
Right.
You're like, no, I gotta make it back.
Now everything's so overproduced and saturated because that's just how it is and they have to keep up.
Yeah. The times.
The times have changed.
Okay, this is something that I noticed. I feel like they're trying to make Genevieve, they're trying to cast her as the Justin of the group with the faces and the close-ups, and she never really makes it she makes it far enough where people like her, but doesn't quite ever get the full, like, package to her. But they keep doing close-ups of our faces just like they did for Justin, just like they did for Rick. You know, and I feel like for the last couple of seasons they've been casting the comic one, like the one that you can do because of memes.
Yeah, exactly.
They know they can get some great bomb-ass memes, like, you know what I'm saying?
And then that's free advertisement because people, you know, are like, oh, who's that guy?
Oh yeah, let me look at
that.
He's
means
from The Bachelor. He's hot. I'm gonna watch The Bachelor. Or whatever the case may be. I just feel like that's sort of the vibe. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting from Genevieve right now. So Cassidy has the rose.
But, like, she's not necessarily hitting the mark for me.
No, I totally agree. I don't think she's hitting the mark. I just feel like
she
that's
was,
who
like,
they're setting up.
casted as.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Because there's nothing about her. Like, I think she's a fine person, whatever, but there hasn't been anything. Like, with Justin, I was like, oh, he's a little mysterious. Or is he not?
Yeah,
is he just, like,
is he just a
you know what
big
I
doofus?
mean? Like, I couldn't, like, I was always intrigued by him. But, like, I'm not necessarily intrigued by Genevieve. At least
No,
right now.
I'm not
Not
either.
from what they've shown me.
But to be fair, I'm never really intrigued with the girls that much.
Yeah,
I do
don't like-
prefer Bachelorette over the
I
Bachelor.
agree. I do prefer the Bachelorette.
You know,
Yeah.
I just get more intrigued by men because I guess I like men. Like,
Well, no,
I
you know
don't
why
know.
we're intrigued by the men is
Uh-huh.
because we're like, how do they work? Like, I want to see all these different types of men.
yeah, I feel like all
You
the
know what I
girls are the
mean?
same. Like at the end of the day, I feel like all of these girls are
Yeah.
pretty much cookie cutters of everybody else. There's
Right.
not really a girl that stands out to me that I'm like, wow,
But I
she's
feel
really
like the
unique.
men are like rich and have like.
They have a uniqueness about
I feel
them.
like they want to be there more for some reason, and maybe I'm completely like, I guess like men want to be Instagram famous too, I guess. But for
Yeah.
some reason in my head, I feel like most men that go on the show are more sincere for some reason because it's a girly thing to like want to go on the show.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I feel like if you're a man and you're like, hey man, like I'm gonna like try out for Bachelor. I think I'm gonna be the love of my life on the Bachelor.
Mhm.
And your friends are gonna be like, or maybe they'll be supportive. I don't know. I just think the men are a lot more interesting than the girls.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think
Yeah.
because I'm actually really curious to sort of see how other people feel about that.
Totally.
So let's get back to the show,
Sorry.
right? No. I'm like telling you that Cassidy,
Yes.
they've never done that before, right? They've never taken back a rose.
I don't think so. No.
That's never happened.
I don't think so. I remember years and years and years ago during the very first, I can't remember whose season it was, but during the very first rose ceremony, like at the night that the entrances,
Uh-huh.
he gave out the rose. He said the wrong name.
Oh yeah.
And then
You
the
told me this.
woman comes up and she's like, yeah, and he's like, fuck, and he
Oh,
pulls Chris
no.
Harrison aside and he's like, I said the wrong name, what do I do? I can't remember what came of that. I don't know if
Yeah.
he took back the rose or if
They just gave an additional rose, maybe.
I think that's what they did. I think they gave an additional rose. But if somebody remembers, put it in the comments because
Yeah,
I
please
can't.
let us know.
It was so long
There's
ago.
too many Bachelor seasons.
Right. Like, it was so long ago, but it's not the same situation.
Yeah, it's
You know what
completely
I mean?
different.
Like, he gave her a rose because he thought she deserved it, and now he's questioning himself and her deservance, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. I just, well, here's the thing, is she told who? Sierra? She told
Sierra.
Sierra that she had a
boyfriend.
boyfriend at
Or a
home.
fuck buddy.
A fuck buddy at home. And then Cassidy denied it, and then Cassidy went back to Clayton and was like, actually, I did. I was talking to somebody. And Clayton's like, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Like, he said, Cassidy apologized to him, and he, remember, she like went and kissed him on the cheek, and you could tell on his face. He was like, I do not like this. He was like, I'm making the right decision here, because I feel like he wanted to have a genuine conversation. I feel like maybe Clayton really did like Cassidy, because at the end of the day, I don't really think Clayton can see the forest through the trees.
Right.
So I think Clayton did like Cassidy, even though in hindsight, I have faith that he's smart enough to realize that, you know, her attacking him, like, I feel like she attacked him at the pool, at the birthday party thing, and, you know, pulling him aside all these times, and, you know, there's being confident, but then there's being cocky, you know,
Right.
and she was all of these things. I think now he probably is smart enough to realize, like, wow, I really dodged a bullet. But in the moment, I do really think that he probably did really like Cassidy.
Yeah,
And
I think he gets caught up with
the
just
moment,
like,
which is why he
gets
tells
caught up
3
in the
people he
moment.
loves them. 2 people he loves
Exactly,
them.
and he always gets caught up in the moment because think about it. I mean, and we'll get to this in a second, but during the swim beach date or whatever, the Baywatch date, and who was it that jumped?
It was Shanae.
Shanae fucking jumped into his arms, started making out with him, and like, who knows how long it actually lasted? Like, maybe they just did different angles so it looked like, you know, they were making out for a super long time. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was like 2 seconds. Maybe it was 3 minutes because the girls seemed like they were like cricket.
Yeah.
But he definitely got lost in that moment and forgot about all the other girls there. And I don't think
Yeah.
it's because he liked the other girls less. I think he was just
Caught up in the moment.
But at the same time, he needs to knock that fucking shit off because he's hurting people in the process. And like something like that to me is a little rude. Like if I was the Bachelorette and somebody did that to me, like, yeah, okay, whatever, give you a quick kiss, but I'm not making out in front of all these other people with you. Like, it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
So I think Clayton was definitely disrespectful to the women. And if I was a woman on a season, I would be like, do I want this guy to be my future husband?
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously not thinking of other people around him right now. Or
Well,
or I don't know. Maybe you want that.
One could argue that he's not supposed to be thinking about anybody other than him, because the journey
That's what I'm saying. It's
is
like,
about him. But I mean, I see what you're saying.
True.
Because you are, these group dates, as much as the group dates are for you getting to know Clayton, they're also for Clayton to see how you interact with other people. Potentially people that you might not like, but how do you treat them?
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree with you now that I think about it. Clayton needs to be showing that same respect because these girls are trying to
For this
figure out-
particular situation.
Yeah, exactly, because these girls are trying to figure out if they like Clayton for the most part, just as much as Clayton is trying to figure out if he likes them.
Right.
There's been plenty of Bachelor, like, contestants on The Bachelor who, you know, made it to the top 3 or whatever, and they're like, you know, you're cool, but it's not fair to the other 2 contestants because I don't really like you like that.
Yeah. Like, I don't see it.
I don't see it. So, you know, these contestants have to see if they like Clayton too, and at the end of the day, Clayton showed, at least in that moment, that he didn't care about the women's feelings around him.
Right.
But with that being said, once again, I think Clayton may be a little bit of a doofus.
Yeah.
So not that his heart doesn't mean well, but like in the moment, he can't make
Those decisions.
those decisions. Once again, in hindsight, he can see as he's watching it back, like right now, last night when he watched it back, he was probably like,
Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
oh, maybe I shouldn't have made out with her. But once again, it could have been a parlor trick. You know, it could have been 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And they made it seem like it lasted an eternity because God damn it, it seemed like it lasted an eternity.
Yeah.
Like, there was a point where Tulane and I were like,
Are they gonna stop?
they're still making out?
It's gonna go to a commercial break and then it's gonna come back to the commercial break and they're still kissing.
Oh my God, like, it was just wild. It felt a little too long, even if it was for editing's sake. Like, the editing seemed too long. It was just too much. Yeah, and then I guess Cassidy told, I think it was Hunter, when's your exit interview?
Yeah.
So if she is really saying these little things,
Yeah.
and it seemed like it was really from the fucking heart, she seemed really bummed.
Yeah, Hunter was like really sad. I was like, my little Hunter.
Yeah. So I do think that Cassidy's maybe just a little piece of shit.
Yeah.
But then Serene is like, the poison is gone, and we're all like, oh.
Well, she was like, no. Bitch was like, the poison is gone. We hope.
Yeah.
Like, she fucking straight up said that on purpose.
God.
Like, poking the fucking bear. I was like, okay, Serena, I see you.
Yeah, it was so funny.
She's not necessarily gonna start the drama.
But
she's
definitely
poking the bear. She
Yeah.
had the stick. She's the stick. Just saying. In that moment, that's what it felt like. I thought it was funny.
2 things.
Yeah.
Eliza looks way too young to be with Clayton.
So young.
And
she's cute as well.
Mara looks way too old to be with
Mara
Clayton.
looks way too old. Oh my God. She looks like, she just looks like a different person. You know how like people just looked good together sometimes because they just look like they fit?
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a fucking square in a round hole, man.
Yeah.
Like, they do not look like, I'm not saying anything against her, like, she's pretty lady, whatever.
But like looks together, they just don't
Don't look good together.
Yeah,
And
they
it
don't
always
look
throws me off.
Yeah, I can't get past it.
Can't get past it.
Yeah, and same with Eliza. She's really cute as a button, but she just looks so young.
Yeah, when they were standing together in the mirror, I was like, I see what you're trying to do, girl, but...
And it was cute. It was cute.
But in her position, I couldn't get the image out of them together, and it felt wrong.
Well, I mean,
it just felt like
Brandon and
shameful.
Michelle.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I felt with Brandon and Michelle. Like, I just felt like Brandon looked like her student, and it was fucking creepy.
It was weird.
Yeah, so Shanae got the rose.
Mm-hmm. No.
For that group date. No. No.
No.
What?
Gabby got it.
Yeah, Gabby got it. Why did I write down Shanae gets rose?
You were just thinking about the kiss.
Gotta go over my notes, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Gabby got it.
Gabby
we saw
got
like
it.
Gabby's like quirky side, and she was just like hee hee hee.
Oh no, this is about the cocktail party. Because Shanae got the last rose. So it was down to, so Gabby got the group date rose.
Yes.
Sorry, we're getting sidetracked. Gabby got the group date rose for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally got to, no, this is beforehand. What the hell's
what are you
happening?
talking about?
I don't know. Well, because we started, you know what it is we started talking about the group
beach.
date. The beach.
We never finished.
But we
the
never
first
finished about
date.
Yeah, the first date. So
Oh my god, the first fucking date, man.
no, not the first date. See, this is why the show can't do it to us because everything's asked backwards. Okay, we start off the show
Right.
and it's still a cocktail party from the previous night,
Right.
and it's down to the final four. Who's it gonna be? NC, Kate, Tessa, or Shanae? Who gets the final rose?
I see.
Guess who gets it?
Fucking
Shanae.
There we go.
And then we go to the beach.
can't do this to us, Bachelor.
I know,
God
we're
damn
getting
it.
fucking confused. So the beach, they did, so basically it was like a Baywatch. I've never seen Baywatch. I know what it is, obviously, Pamela Anderson, I think Hasselhoff, right? Isn't he in it?
I don't know, actually.
Actually, I don't know. They wear the red swimsuit, they're lifeguards, they run in slow motion. Yeah, so the girls had to do CPR. They all were like funny about it. I didn't know if it was supposed to be a joke CPR, if these women were actually supposed to give CPR. Like, none of these women knew how to give CPR, it seemed, which was a little
Yeah, I feel like all
to
of
me.
them made like a joke out of it because probably like the first person who did it didn't know, so they made it a joke, and then everybody's like, oh, okay, so we're making this a joke. I'm not going to do it seriously.
Seriously. Yeah, because Clayton was like, I hope I never go to the beach with one of these girls.
Dude, like, love Sierra, but bitch was like making out with the mannequin, and I was a little turned off by it. I was like,
that was really weird.
I was like, this is strange, odd. Maybe other people don't find it. I found it odd.
Yeah, that was weird, man.
I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be making out with a mannequin.
Yeah, that was really
For fun?
weird. Yeah, but then Shanae, so they're going on the group date, and
Yeah.
Shanae is like, "What's the plan? I'm in competition. I'm here to win."
Right.
Like, she kept saying competition. She kept saying, "I want to win." She kept saying, "This is how I'm gonna win."
Yeah.
I'm here to win. I'm not here for Clayton.
She's like, these
She's
bitches
not
don't
here
know
for
how to
right
play the
reason.
game.
I know. I'm like, what the hell is happening? So she's crazy. But yeah, so they went on their date, and
Well, the beach date was the second date. But we were so close. Sorry, because I skipped to the beach date. So we're gonna go backwards now. So the last date was the beach date, right?
yeah,
The date before that was the one-on-one, and that was with
Sarah.
Sarah. They had like a nice little conversation. I can't really read Sarah's eyes. I really don't know what she's thinking in that
Yeah.
head. I'm just like, I think she's like nervous. I think, not even nervous. I feel like she's just like, oh, I think she's surprised. I think she's like, oh, this might actually work. I knew that maybe it could. But am I going to meet the love of my life? I think she's totally just doe-eyed about everything and completely taken aback by the experience. And I think she'll probably she makes it kind of a long way,
Yeah,
right?
I think she makes it fairly.
She has like footage
Fair.
and stuff.
Yeah, like she
Of
makes
her.
it to like top like 5. She's the like who's Van Dude's girlfriend?
Oh, Kaitlyn.
Kaylin.
Yeah.
She's like the Kaylin or the Maddie.
Right.
Or, of Peter season, where they could go far, but you're like, okay, I guess that makes sense that they're going home.
Right.
Sort of thing. So, Chelsea,
Mhm.
So anyway, they got naked. Well, they stripped down to their underwear. And they had to do a scavenger hunt around the city. They did.
I don't know if it was a scavenger hunt. I think they just had
They
to run
called,
around this.
they called it a scavenger
Oh, did
hunt. Because they had to find like 3 different things or something. Or like it was a truth or
They had to
dare.
run around. They had to sing their love for each other.
They had to sing their love for each other. There was like an audience there. There was
I don't even think there
microphones.
was like an audience. I think it was just like microphones there, and then people were just like, well, even if they were staged or whatever, but like they were just like, what's this?
Yeah, what's going on?
cute. I
I will
think
say,
it's
I sort of liked Clayton's song. Like, I loved that he took it seriously.
Yeah.
And he, like, made his voice, like, all deep and dark. And it was like he was trying to, like, emulate a country song or something.
Yeah.
I liked that because I do feel like
smart, yeah.
the fall, too, of a nervous person who's asked to sing is to, like, rap.
Right, which is what she did.
Which is
like,
what
you
she
could tell
did.
she was, like, scared. She was like,
Scared.
oh, fuck.
And I liked her little poem, even though I'm sure producers wrote it and she just memorized it and did it, which is fine. But I don't know, I sort of liked, like, I liked seeing that version. I was like, oh, I might actually like Clayton.
Right.
Like, as a person. Like, do I think his season is going to be amazing? No. Do I think Clayton is overly interesting? Not really. But I can see where people would see where he's interesting. You know what I'm saying? He's not interesting for me, but I'm sure he's interesting for someone else.
He's somebody.
Romantically. You know? Yeah.
It's true.
So, yeah, so I liked his song. Like you said, Sarah's just a little hard to read in the eyes.
Yeah, I think she's, like, super nervous. Like, you could even tell at her date, she was like, okay, like, I'm scared to let go. I know the cameras are watching me. Like, she was aware, I feel like, of the camera the whole entire time. She always is playing with her hair, making sure her hair is properly placed. And I don't think it's a vain thing. I think it's like a...
She's worried about the cameras.
Right.
Well, they went to the Van Gogh Museum.
So gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. And I will tell you, I'll tell you this, and we talked about this last night. I liked it so much better than the other dancing dates because there wasn't just a single person singing to you while you're dancing. I've always felt like that would be really awkward for me, and it feels a little awkward to watch. But this was amazing because obviously they're in this beautiful, like, living Van Gogh piece, you know. And then it was just like an orchestra. Yeah. It wasn't a singer. It was just like orchestra playing a beautiful, you know, little ballad.
And they danced to
it. And it didn't feel like egotistical or like I'm promoting my new album or look at me. Like, it just felt like actually a nice romantic moment that wasn't taken away because you had somebody you were promoting on your channel. So I liked that a little bit more. I know they have to, like, bring people on, they have to promote. I understand why the need to do that, but at the end of the day, I will say that that specific type of date is a lot more.
I agree.
Interesting to me.
It's better because, you know, they're, like, in their music and they're, like, you know, playing or whatever, instead of being like, I'm singing straight to you and watching you make out while I'm singing my new single.
Yeah.
That just feels weird.
Yeah.
So this felt more relaxed and more...
She obviously got the rose. They said, you know, I felt really comfortable opening up with you and, you know, the whole spiel that you get. So, yeah. So then we go to the beach date.
Yeah, and then we go to the beach date.
But this was this was another thing that I don't like about this episode or this season so far, and it happened last season too a couple times. Yeah, I think it started for the first time last season and really threw me off. Is they'll be on the one-on-one, and then all of a sudden they'll go to the girls and they'll do a whole saga on what's happening at the house, and then all of a sudden you flash back to the one-on-one, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that this was still happening.
Right.
It almost feels like two completely different shows. Like, there's a dating show, and then there's, you know, real world.
Right.
You know, because I do feel like, especially in the beginning, they're really focusing on the drama in the house because they do have to weed people out, and, you know, I guess they have to make it interesting, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just two separate entities, and I don't like that they're breaking it up in the middle of something that's already happening. Like, I think it's a really poor editing choice.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see the first group date, and then I want to see the one-on-one, and then I want to see the second group date, and then I want to see the rose ceremony. Like, I want it to be more formulaic, like, in that way. Like, you don't have to change the formula. The formula obviously works.
Yeah.
There's always new ways to make something old interesting without necessarily changing it in the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that sort of throws me off. But what, did something happen before that?
Well, there was the first group date.
Oh yeah, the first group date. You're right. Because we're going backwards.
We're going backwards because we accidentally skipped because we're blaming this on the Bachelor producers.
Yeah.
Fuck them doing the rose ceremony in the beginning.
It really fucked us up. fucked us up. I fucked up my nose. I fucked up everything.
Messed up, man.
So the very first group date was sort of a repeat of
Katie Thurston's season.
I think Tayshia did a little bit of this in her season too, where you sort of sit in a dark room in a circle in folding chairs and everybody just like spills their guts.
Yeah.
Now, my problem with this is I actually really do like this date. And I've liked it in all the other things, in all the other seasons. But with this particular date, I didn't particularly like it because Kaitlyn Bristowe hosted it, and she asked one question, and then everybody, for the most part, gave their answer. What I wish would have happened is maybe a few questions to sort of lighten the mood a little bit, sort of like, do you like chocolate ice cream? And then you stand up or something, just something like stupid.
Yeah, break the ice.
Get into a little bit more serious questions and have 2 or 3 girls answer that question.
Yeah.
And then ask another question and have 2 or 3 girls answer that question because they only asked one question. It was a very broad question. The question was,
it was like, is there something you don't like about yourself in relationships or whatever?
No, it honestly was even more broad than that. I think, I didn't write it down, but I think it was like, what's something that you haven't liked about yourself in the past, or like something, I don't know, it was a very broad question.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of got very emotional stories, yes, but very broad answers from the girls. So I just thought that was like not a great like journalistic question, but I digress.
Yeah, I agree. And first of all, let's just say, like, I really feel like they're pushing out Tayshia.
Yeah, they're pushing her out.
Like, so I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, maybe Tayshia just doesn't even want to like be part of the Bachelor franchise. I'm pretty sure she left the clickbait podcast or whatever it is.
Really?
So yeah, she like I heard that she left her podcast with like Kaitlyn or whatever, and somebody else is stepping in. I don't know. And so I just feel like maybe she's pushing herself away from the franchise, or they're pushing her out. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Well, something's happening because we have not really seen Tayshia. We saw Becca Kufrin for the one-on-one. She sort of guided them, told them what they were doing for that, and then obviously Kaitlyn Bristowe for the first group date.
Yeah.
So they're pushing.
Yeah.
They're pushing somebody. Maybe they're trying to make Becca the new Tayshia.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I really don't know.
We'll see if they're in more of the season.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody sort of gave these like broad answers, and it was really nice hearing Clayton open up about how he had sort of body image issues and stuff like that, because that is something that you don't hear men particularly talk a lot about. So I did think that was interesting, and even the scavenger hunt for him, taking his shirt off, he was like, I felt really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel uncomfortable with you, but in general, I usually would feel uncomfortable, like showing my stomach or whatever he said. So, he's a real person. He has insecurities just like the rest of us. I believe you, Clayton.
Yeah.
Like, this cat is being bad. No. So anyway, so that was the first.
Yeah.
That was the first group date.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, there was just one side note too I was gonna say about Jesse Palmer is I just feel like he's basically a carbon copy of Chris Harrison, and I just really am sad Wells isn't the new host, because I feel like Wells could have brought the same integrity to the position, and like I guess not, people wouldn't think integrity because of Chris Harrison got fired, but like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like professionalism?
He would have brought the same vibe in a sense, but a different frequency, where Jesse Palmer just brings like the same vibe.
Like, I feel like him and Chris Harrison are interchangeable.
Exactly. Where Wells would bring something so much, he would bring so much light and fun and fresh. Yeah, and fresh, and he could grow with the franchise. I know I've said that a million times, but why did we make Jesse Palmer? I don't think he's doing a bad job.
No.
Don't get me wrong, but like,
he's doing the
job. And it's like, I want to see somebody I want somebody to be extraordinary at it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, I don't know. I'm disappointed. I'm still a little disappointed with the Jesse Palmer thing, but I'm gonna have to get used to it.
Let's sign a petition, get it going.
Let's get Wells in there, man.
Yeah, if
He's
you
so
guys
good.
want Wells, let us know. Make sure you comment, because maybe we could just get this sort of ball rolling. I mean, has Jesse been contracted for eternity for The Bachelor? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't really know. I mean, how could they do that? They have to see how he does and how people like him.
Right.
So even though he was made the host, I mean, anything can happen.
That's true.
Anything can change.
Oh my God.
So, is there anything else that happened on The Bachelor?
No, I think that was basically it. I'm still.
Once again, it ended in a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What was the cliffhanger? The cliffhanger was, there was all the drama with Shanae and Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
So this is where we end. So we come to the cocktail party for the rose ceremony, and Elizabeth and Shanae sort of get into it. They're still sort of bickering about the shrimp, whatever the case may be. Shanae
told Clayton that she was being bullied by the girls.
Exactly. So Clayton sort of stands up for Shanae and goes to Elizabeth and is like, Shanae's saying this stuff, and then Elizabeth is like, I can't, this is not happening.
But it was also random too. This was weird with the editing. Was it Hunter that came out and was like, have I been bullying you? Like, my whole entire conversation with Clayton was about me being a bully to you.
No, that was Lindsay W.
Lindsay W. Okay, it was Lindsay W.
Lindsay W. came out just randomly. We never saw Clayton talk to her. Mm-hmm. It was just a random, not even footage. It was like house footage of Lindsay W. coming out and saying, did I ever bully you? Like, that's all I talked about with Kaitlyn.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do something to you?
Well, with Clayton.
With Clayton, yeah.
You said Kaitlyn.
Oh, well, Clayton.
You were
sorry.
so close.
Clayton. And so I felt really bad for her, even though I never thought she was going to go far. She doesn't have any other footage. And in fact, she's probably going home next rose ceremony.
Probably.
But then I feel like Elizabeth definitely took the logic route. She was like, this is ridiculous. Do you hear the things she's saying?
Right.
But Clayton's so confused. So he actually asked them to hash it out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was like, you know what?
And then in the
really
previews for the next episode, we see, is it Genevieve?
Yeah,
they're
Genevieve,
bickering, and then Genevieve just stands up and she's like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
She freaks the fuck out, so we'll see where that heads.
We don't know. We really don't know. So the bullying did get addressed. We'll see what happens with that at the next rose ceremony. Mm-hmm. Okay, do we feel like Shanae is the next Thomas?
I don't know. Maybe
just like a villain, and then all of a sudden, for no reason,
they're on Paradise, and they're like,
but he was a villain on Paradise too.
That's true, but then at the end he wasn't. Not really.
No,
remember in the middle of the season, it was like, we're making him the villain, and we're like, okay, this is old news. And then all of a sudden, somebody else was the villain, and they never spoke about Thomas being a villain ever again. Nobody else had a bad word about him. Nothing. It was so weird. It was so wacky.
Weird. Yeah. So I'm like, is that gonna happen to Shanae?
Yeah. Like, we're gonna be like, oh, here's drama, and then no, Shanae is gonna be like a fucking Queen Victoria in a sense.
Oh,
she's just gonna be a tornado and fuck shit up and then leave early. And she's gonna be like, why did I leave early? And it's like, because you're a bitch.
And nobody likes you. Although I don't think anybody can be as delusional as Queen Victoria.
Oh yeah, she's super
no, it's Goddess Victoria.
Oh yeah. Goddess.
I mean, she was a mental case.
Yeah.
Like, true mentally.
True.
Casey. So it ended on a cliffhanger. So, they're going to be doing this shit every single week, which I'm not really happy about. But it is what it is. Let us know if you like the cliffhangers or if you want it to be clean and cut. Thank you for watching this episode of Twin Talk. Bye.
Twin Talk, Twin Talk. Twin Talk, Twin Talk.
Hey guys, if you like what you see, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Eggs and Bakey.
Eggs and Bakey.